All right, all right. Let's see. Um, I'm not sure how this. All right. Now, can you hear me? Let me know because they decided to start doing yard work at like, I don't know, 5 minutes ago this morning. So let me know if you can hear me on Facebook. And I don't really know with Instagram if I'm live. I'm trying to be. All right. Okay. Am I live? I'm gonna drink some water. All right, ready to rock and roll. I hope. I think the audio is excellent. Okay, good. I'm glad because I can't really hear it. So awesome. Good morning, everyone. So I'm doing this live workshop. It's really just to talk about the beginning of my spiritual journey and to give you some tools if you aren't already using them. So, yeah, we're just going to jump in. There is a workbook. So, if you don't have the workbook and you want the workbook, send me a message or comment, and I'll make sure I get you the workbook so that you can fill in the blanks and follow along. So, I'm going to be live every day this week. So, all right, let's jump into this. I'm going to pretend like we're all in a room together and I'm teaching a workshop. So I'm just feeling into the space. And I'm also surrendering. Universe, use me to be light and love for everyone else. It's pretty cool. So I have a light here and I closed my eyes. And while the eyes were closed, the light, because it's a circle light, did an infinity symbol, which was really cool. Okay, so this morning I want to talk about crystals a little bit. And it's not something that has been, I don't know, it's not something that I really believed in at first. I was like, crystals, okay, so these rocks have energy. I mean, I kind of knew, I'm like, okay, these rocks have energy. But I didn't really, I don't know, I wasn't really sure and I didn't overthink it. And, you know, it ended up being a very powerful tool for me. And I even have some other alternative medicine tools. See, if, I think they're on my altar right now, which have crystals in them, which are based on what the Egyptians used. So, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, do you have crystals? Have they affected you? Um, Scientifically, modern science hasn't technically proved like, yes, crystals work. And when you get into quantum physics and our intention with crystals, they do work. So it's pretty cool. They're energy healing tools, which have become more popular recently. Crystals are grounding. So all of the crystals, because they're rocks, they're going to connect you to the earth element at the minimum. Minimally, they're going to connect you to earth element, which is amazing. But it's mostly because they're carrying. So in the workbook, there's a blank. So crystals are grounding. That would fill in that blank because they carry the earth's energy. And this is one of my absolute favorite ones. So I'll share this one. It was hanging out in the dirt of my plant next to me. So this is a Lumerian seed crystal. and it has pretty crazy energy. I don't know if you can really see the stratification or yeah, you can. Maybe. I have two cameras here, so I'm like, oh. It has these lines which connect to Lumeria and the Akashic records and all kinds of things. So this crystal is very potent. When I program it and ask it to do things, it does. So the last thing I asked it to do was just to keep me grounded, and to keep me emotionally more balanced. So if I'm starting to feel like a lot of anxiety or stress, I just hold it and I like to rub it. So I've got a little relationship with this crystal. But anyways, why would you want to use crystal energy right now? Like in these times? What do you need more of? So you can post that in the comments. Is this exercise, this workshop is to ignite you, to really start an energy experience for you if you don't have one, or to reinvigorate the journey you're on, or ignite the journey that you're on. So I would post in the comments, is it confidence? Is it ease? Is it courage? Um, Sorry, reading a note, one of the comments. So just think about that for a moment. Like, what do you really need more of? Is it knowing? Is it love? Is it grounding? And like I said, you can write that in the comments because I really want this to be interactive. If you comment, then I can respond a little bit to those. And that's way more fun. Like we're in the same room together, which I do miss. Um, so, what color are you feeling drawn to? The color, a lot of the times, affects what chakra or what area you're working on with crystals. And then there's a lot of different ways you can cleanse your crystals. So, you program them, you want to cleanse them. And it's not, I would avoid the water one just because some crystals are not, certain things in water can break down certain crystals. So I advise sunlight, moonlight, sage, palo santo. Um, you can also put a crystal in a pile with a bunch of other quartz crystals, which is really great. And then you can charge your crystal. So you can charge, and if you have any crystals right now, you want to go grab them, do it. So you can charge your crystal by holding it. You can hold it next to your heart. um, Really, any meditation you do with a crystal, you can charge that energy and add life force energy. So your hands are your most powerful healing instruments, and when you put them on a crystal, and you can even go into your intention, you could charge it, right, just by meditating with it. But then to give it a job for you, you want to be very clear with your intention and keep it pretty simple, because crystals aren't super advanced technologies. So, like I said, this one's for grounding me emotionally. This one is for me just, yeah, I use this one if I am traveling a lot or going into a new environment. I'll keep this one on me and just kind of hold it, and it feels very grounding for me. It brings the energy. If I'm about to be a little too whatever, it calms me down. So I tend towards anxiety and depression. So a lot of these tools are to help with those, not to have those things. So for this crystal, like I said, I programmed it basically anti-anxiety. So how would you like to program your crystal? Think about what you need. Think about whatever the first color that comes to you. It's probably the kind of crystal that you want. And then you want to tell it something simple. Now, if you wanted to reprogram it, what you would want to do is cleanse it, charge it, and then reprogram it, which you can totally do. I tend to kind of go from crystal to crystal, um, for different things in my life. All right. So, really, when I was studying this, I don't really want to share anything that I don't know kind of where it might have come from. If this is a Lumerian seed crystal, which it was found in Brazil, I think it was found. It's in South America, but I'm pretty sure it's Lemurian seed crystal. The thing about that is, where do we really have to thank crystal knowledge? Like if we look at the lineage, because we're using all these healing tools from all around the world, and it's really important to recognize, okay, where does this come from? Really, the Middle East is where a lot of the crystal energy and using crystals, if you go back far enough, really came from, Egypt. So I have Egyptian healing rods. I think I have an Instagram video of those somewhere. But they have a bunch of crystals in them. And they're similar. I think the Egyptians were using those as healing tools and also kind of magic. So if you look at any, this is very interesting. If you look at any Egyptian images that are ancient, usually the pharaohs are holding these rods. Excuse me. I'm so excited to share. So, okay. So, usually the Egyptians are holding these rods in these pictures. They found the knowledge of that. I think it was 1930s or 40s. They found some manuscripts that talked about how to create these. So they've recreated them. If you want that website, just put a comment. I will after this video, I'll put the link in there. I think I have a affiliation link too, so I think you can get a little discount. But anyways, I use them to meditate. I'll have to bring them tomorrow in my live. They're over by my altar. But it's really fascinating the electromagnetic energy that you can feel start to circulate your body when you're holding these things. So, anyways, getting excited. But yes, crystals. Yeah, I'm excited to share this story with you. So, mostly right now, I'm using this for grounding. Um, like I said, when I fly or travel, I really like to hold this one. I didn't actually bring my other crystal over here, but moldavite is interesting. So, one of the first stones that I felt really called to, and this is what you want to pay attention to, is the color, the look. If you go to a rock store, you go to a crystal store or a vendor, pay attention to what you're drawn to. That's your intuition. That is your spirit guiding you. It doesn't need to be overthought. Okay. So, like I asked those questions, I really want you to have in your mind right now what color the crystal is, what you want it for before I go into my stories. So, if you aren't sure yet, I'm seeing black. So, I guess I need a new crystal that's black or find one of mine that's black. But, anyways, black is very grounding. So, one of the first ones I felt called to was moldavite. Moldavite is it came from when an asteroid hit the planet and it created this green, um, very powerful stone. A lot of people, when they hold moldavite, will get a headache. It's not it's not to be taken lightly. Okay, moldavite is expensive and very powerful and potent. So just, heads up on that. I felt called to this stone, I think it was whatever, it was at least 6 years ago. And when, no, 7 years ago, 7 years ago. Anyways, before Tanzan, before my son was born, I got this stone, and within a month, my twin flame appeared in my life, which that's a whole nother story. But it was a very spiritual connection. Like there was a spirit, we had these conversations about the universe and ascension and life. And I really attribute, because my intention was like with the Moldavite, what I said to the Moldavite was bring me more answers, essentially, like help me become more of a master. And by meeting my twin flame, they really pushed me to become, well, they really helped my ascension journey, but really pushed me on forward on this path. So that was really cool. Crystal energy helped me build confidence and strength to actually eventually leave a toxic relationship. So this was after the Moldavite. Okay. So later I started wearing different crystals for addiction and for um, confidence and for self-esteem and self-love. I mean, I went a little ham on the crystal thing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to wear these earrings and I'm gonna have the this necklace and these rings. And I kind of went a little, I think like when I look back, I'm like, wow, I was really into crystals. And it's because they really helped motivate me to leave someone that was hurting me. And that was very hard. That was not an easy thing. And I really attribute a lot of it to my intentions with the crystals and wearing them all the time. Um, Lastly, one of the crystals that I got, I was so drawn to it. I was at a store. It wasn't a store. I was at the Edgar Casey Center, which is a very cool place. If you haven't been there, it's in Virginia Beach. And it was for I went for my friend's sound healing. She played the crystal bowls. But while I was there, I walked by this one vendor and there was one ring that was just like, Nave, come to me. And I was like, I don't really need any more crystals. Like I went ham on those a couple years ago. And it was a watermelon tourmaline, which is gorgeous. If you look at them, they're pink and green. And I asked it to heal my heart. I was like, heal my heart chakra, bring me healing love energy. That's all I said. And this is going to get, I guess, a little bit personal, but basically, what had happened is I ended up falling in love with someone that I had previously been in love with and healing everything from our past. And it's kind of crazy. Like, this is why I hope there's a transmission coming through. Like, I hope that you're feeling something, um, because that person's actually in the room over there. And um, he's my friend. Like, we healed everything from our past. So it might have also been my first husband. um, so we've known each other for like 14 or 15 years. And that ring, like, I swear that stone crystal energy, because that was not what I was anticipating. This is not a normal story. Most people don't get married at like 21, get divorced at like 23, 24, and then like, I don't know, become friends with the person again. I mean, that crystal energy was so profound. Um, and it really healed. It healed all of our stuff from the past, like that hadn't been healed yet. So that was really, really powerful. And that was the watermelon tourmaline, which I think is one of the blanks in your workbook. So let me check. I'm still alive everywhere. All my tech is good. Um, okay, cool. Just checking. So with all of these healing modalities, when you're using your vortex of energy, you can't really doubt your intention, and and your desire. You have to really believe that it's going to come true. I didn't overthink. The biggest thing is, for manifestation for me, is if I don't overthink something. If I just, like, I felt drawn to the watermelon tourmaline, I got it within, I think it was like 2 weeks. This person, this person randomly messaged me, or no, I think like someone else messaged me and was like, you can talk to this person or whatever. Something probed me and I was like, okay. And it was just like, boom, so much healing energy from my heart chakra. So yeah, you must say something like, with the crystal, charging it with the intention. You have to believe it. You have to act like it's already happening. And then you have to really feel. So when we bring in our feelings, that's what allows things to manifest. It's very interesting because if you think and write something down and act like something's happening, but you still are doubting, you're still feeling like, I don't know if that's really blah, blah, blah," it like murks your vortex of manifestation and energy. It like messes with it. So the biggest thing as an energy master, it's so important to trust. Trust. If your intention and desire doesn't happen, then it wasn't the right thing for you. It wasn't the right timing. And you have to trust that. It's there's a surrender and trust and faith, and surrender and trust and faith. That is what I think, for me, that's one of the biggest learnings that I'm always learning, to find balance. I don't think we arrive balanced at someday, like, oh, I've made it. I'm perfectly balanced now. No, it's like this constant moving target that we're always trying to find based on the seasons and what we're eating and who we're interacting with. And like, so for me, it's like a constant surrender the ego, surrender my agenda, trust, and then having faith like, yeah, this is the right action. I do need to buy this crystal. What was it? There's this teddy bear that I got last week before. It was while I was cleansing and I was feeling like, oh my gosh, I just need something really loving, right? And this teddy bear was like, get me, get me. And I was like, okay, I don't know. I don't know why I need you. And he's just been hanging out with me. My inner child is like so happy. It seems a little weird, but you got to trust. You really have to just, when you feel those little inclinations, and it doesn't mean you need to buy everything. Okay. Just to be clear, like we don't need all the books on Amazon. Okay. So the other thing is for healing journey, for ascension, as we move forward in this workshop every day, you have to avoid and surrender any victim mindset, like anything that's like, oh, this happened to me because of this, or blaming. No, no, it's forgiving everyone in your life, forgiving yourself, and then moving forward. So, intention, surrender to the universe or God, sacred practices and rituals, instead of just walking outside, connecting to the plants, connecting to the sun, having the intention to absorb the sunlight, to amplify your energy fields. It makes a difference versus just going out in the sun. Like, yeah, you're still going to get vitamin D, but your mind and your spirit with the intention channels the energy. So, investing time and awareness of breath in your activities. All you have to do is be taking conscious breaths and being very clear with your intentions. Like, I'm going outside to give my eyes a rest from being on the computer. I'm going to go out there and nourish them. I'm going to close them and let the sun like penetrate my cells and make them happy or whatever. So it's been a very interesting journey. Like, we can do all the things, and if we aren't surrendering and trusting, having faith, um, we're not. It's a different experience. So hopefully during this week, while I'm sharing just my stories and energy tools that I have found that have helped me along my way, hopefully it will inspire and ignite something in you. So my intention, right? So this is where it comes in. Okay. While I'm surrendering, my intention and desire is to help ignite you on your healing path, on your journey, to hopefully say something or do something that is serving you. So, and maybe if there's cool stuff that you haven't learned about yet, maybe you learn something cool. So this really concludes day one. If you have any questions, please message me. If you want me to clarify anything that I talked about today, comment or just ask me a question. You can send me a message on Facebook or however, email is great. And then if you didn't quite fill in the blanks or you're missing some of those, I can get those to you too. So there is a workbook for anyone just joining. If you would like the workbook, I put a lot of energy and love into that workbook. So I'd love it if you wanted to use it. Again, comment or send me a message. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about prana, Reiki, and Chi, and really channeling the energy in your body. So with the crystals as a tool, it's like you're sending your intention energy here and then letting it kind of go out to the world and back into you. And then we'll progress throughout the week. So we're going to get into self-ascension and Christ consciousness and really the evolution of humanity, which we're seeing right now in lots of different ways. So I love you so much. Thank you for joining. Please ask questions or comment with anything. I really want this to be an exchange back and forth. So yeah, I love you all and thank you so much. And if you would like, if you think this would touch anyone else or you've talked to any friends that have heard about this stuff, but they have more questions, please let them know I'm doing this. I'm just going to be live every day, 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I love you so much. Thank you for letting me be vulnerable and share in a safe space. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I'll take a picture with my friend Ryan and share it with you guys because it's totally. I really attribute that crystal to helping us heal and evolve in our relationship, and it's a really beautiful thing. It's very, you got to look at your closest relationships, and if there's a lot of pain still, that means you have a lot of work to do still, right? So if you can be close with your parents, siblings, exes, that means you're stepping into mastery, right? That means that you're actually living some of this love and lightness that we like to share with each other. So I don't really have anything else. I think I already did everything. So I just kind of want to keep hanging out with you, but I'll be back tomorrow. So I love you. Thank you so much.